Talk to me about South Korea because you were there for 4 years. Every country has crime, every country has its
Mm.
problems. But what are the differences there? What would you say the main differences are?
I think the first one is optics. Like you will never see anyone, in Dublin, unfortunately, you do see people who look like they're strung out, who look like, they're hobbling around, they're very emaciated looking. And we assume that that's, caused by drug abuse. And you would never see something like that. I never saw anybody like that in 4 years. I never saw violence on the streets. There's a good bit of rubbish that does appear kind of as evening draws in, but it's just not, it's incomparable to Dublin. I never felt unsafe there.
You were in Seoul, where you were. Where were you in
I
South
was,
Korea?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
that's
mostly in Gangnam, so that would be the center of the center.
Gangnam Style. That's where that comes from. I didn't even know that was a place. I was in.
It is a real place. It is a real place.
I was in. I was in Florence and Venice over the last couple of weeks, and I have to say, and I think I said, I don't know if I said it on Twitter, but I certainly said it to some friends. I mean, those two cities would just put Dublin to shame. I mean, shame is the only word I can think of. I mean, they are both big tourist cities, obviously, so they
Yeah.
have an incentive. But I mean, Dublin is a tourist city, and it has an incentive. But everything from um, cleanliness to the amount of Italian policemen you see on the streets. They obviously have the only problem they really have, I think, is some pickpocketing of tourists. But the sheer difference in atmosphere alone was something else. I've been in Dublin a few times in the last year, and I have to say, I mean, I lived there for the guts of a decade, not far from the city centre, down in the Docklands. And there's an edge to Dublin. There's a sense that there's a general feeling of this is not a safe place. It could all kick off at any moment. Now, that's not to say it will, but there's a feeling in the air, and that's a feeling that I think an awful lot of people share. Whereas Florence and Venice, obviously big tourist cities, like I said, they have a big incentive. But I mean, you hear all the times about Italy having problems. They would put Dublin to shame, and they're not the only cities that I've been to in the last year where I could say that.